The toothbrush sits on the shelf like a promise. He put it there months ago, and really she should stop looking at it every day. She should put it away. She has drawers, but she looks at it every day while she's brushing her teeth, twice a day because she believes in good dental hygiene. The toothbrush that is a promise. After 3 months, it has become increasingly obvious that it is not a promise he can keep. He meant to keep it. It was a promise he made sincerely. There were so many little promises made in those last days. A hairbrush, a shirt, a bottle of shaving cream, a razor. "I'm leaving these here," he said, "because I'm going to need them again." That was the promise. He will need that toothbrush again. And the unspoken part, when he comes back. In those last days, they tried not to make promises out loud, because saying it out loud made it seem so much more real that he was leaving. Saying it out loud admitted that they might need promises, that their love wouldn't be enough, that there was a world in which he might not come back. He left silent promises throughout the house instead, trailed silent promises across her skin, smiled promises across the room at her, pressed promises into her lower back when he rested his hand there in public. The toothbrush is a promise, she thinks. She is religious about brushing her teeth, flossing. She spends so much time in that bathroom staring into the mirror. Does she look different, she wonders? Can people see it? The feeling of drifting, the fraying at her edges? Without him to tether her, maybe she will float away. But that promise, that extra toothbrush, is an anchor, and she looks at it, and she whispers with her mouth full of toothpaste, he's going to need it. There are days when she's not sure what they are anymore. They. He's more of a he now, and she's more of a she, but there's an aftertaste of them, even now, even 6 months later. She goes out in the world, and she's not sure how much she can flirt with other men. How far is too far? What is he doing, anyway, on his other side of the world, where it is still yesterday? Does the future have different rules? Does what happens in the future stay in the future? In his own time, he is thinking about a toothbrush that he will probably not need again. A toothbrush that sits on someone else's shelf like a promise. Without her, he is less careful about his teeth, so he doesn't think about it as often as she does. He forgets to brush sometimes. He doesn't like his new toothbrush, the one he had to buy because he left his with her. And sometimes he thinks, what a waste of money. And then he pretends that he didn't think it, but of course he did. There's another man in her bedroom now. It's what they discussed over the phone, because maybe they can't survive this, not with the cost of travel nowadays, and an image on a computer screen isn't really enough, is it? Was that their last discussion as a they, she wonders? They acted so cool, so calm. It was so logical. It didn't hurt like she thought it would. The new man, who she calls boy in her head, is funny and sweet and younger than she is. He's not really right for her, and she knows it. The boy asks to borrow her toothbrush in the morning, and she says, okay, because she's never cared about things like sharing toothbrushes. But then he says, which one is yours? And of course he asks. Of course he wants to know. It's not even a difficult question. Hers is the blue one, and the other one is a promise that she won't throw away. And the boy uses her toothbrush and leaves, and she doesn't care if she sees him again. She calls him, and it is the middle of last night where he is, and she is so unreasonably angry at the way the world turns, at the way she time travels away from him every day. That stupid green toothbrush resting in the metal toothbrush holder on a shelf he put up when he was there. He told her, I'll need this, and she believed him. She imagined the toothbrush on another shelf, somewhere they'd live together one day, and it was such a big promise, so much bigger than maybe he knew, and she's going to hold him to it because that toothbrush is still there. There will not be any other boys, she says to him in the message he will receive when he catches up to her in time. You'd better come get your toothbrush, she says. I almost gave it away.